Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe, this Sunday, July 11, 2021. We are broadcasting live from my home in Dallas, Texas. There were bad thunderstorms over the Saxe area last night and there is no power at the center. So we set up here at my home, quick and in a hurry, and we're broadcasting live from my house in Dallas, like I said. So we're going to have service as usual. I'm glad you are all there watching me remotely, and we will have a beautiful experience together. Let's take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in love, peace, clarity. Breathing out love, peace, clarity, harmony, unity. Continue to breathe, letting go of any distractions that may be in your home right now. I'm letting go of all of my anxiety about making this work quickly and settling into the feeling of having you close to my heart. Knowing that we are all one, that we are all connected, despite our physical distance from each other. So as we open our hearts and minds, let's all remember that we are indeed connected all the time, despite our physical distance. That the love, joy, and harmony that we feel as a community is available to us at any moment, at any time. So we continue to breathe, we continue to relax, preparing ourselves for this beautiful experience together. For wherever two or more are gathered, there is Spirit. Spirit flows in and through us, expresses as us. Unique expressions of the divine here on this planet. Continue to breathe. Continue to relax. Opening your heart and your mind fully. Dropping into that heart space where our awareness of the divine is heightened. Remembering who and what you are. You are love personified. You are abundance personified. Power, strength, imagination personified. You are the hands and feet of God. You are God in expression, in your own special, unique way. Continue to breathe. Slowly in and slowly out. There is only God. There is only peace. There is only unity and harmony. And so we settle here, we stay here. And we now sing in celebration Spirit's Prayer, our centering song.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
And now let's repeat our children's blessing. Children of light, we see you guided and directed by an inward spirit that leads you into the path that is right for you. We see you strong and whole. We see you blessed and prospered. We see you courageous and confident. We see you as the spiritually perfect beings you truly are. Children of light, we bless you. Our inspiration moment today for Unity's daily word is rest. Far from a luxury or indulgence, rest is an integral part of my life. Periods of rest help my body recoup from its toil and give my mind time and space to settle from stimulation and effort. My soul responds to my restful interludes by sinking deeply into the awareness of my oneness with God. In times of meditative stillness, I touch eternity and discern an absolute truth beyond my daily life. Any day and any time can be a Sabbath. I keep this time holy by bringing the awareness of God into my heart and soul. I am grateful for my restful interludes and cherish the moments I can bless my mind and body with wholehearted, intentional rest. Please repeat with me the affirmation 3 times. I bless my mind and body with meditative stillness and rest. I bless my mind and body with meditative stillness and rest. I bless my mind and body with meditative stillness and rest.
This is the moment, this is the hour, time to put everything on the line, yeah. And I am the answer, I am the reason, I'm a believer, it's all inside of me. And I will not be broken by some fear, and I will not stand still again, and I won't fall apart like all those times before, 'cause I won't take it anymore, 'cause this is a revolution, and I am a changer, I am the master of all I see. this is your moment. This is your moment. This is your moment.
This past Friday, I had the opportunity to be interviewed on a podcast that is the podcast of a friend of mine. In fact, she's one of our spiritual family, Carol Dixon Carr. And we were talking about what the experience is like when you have a number of callings or a number of gifts that you want to express in the world and not feeling like you are fractured or someone who just doesn't have any focus or perhaps is a little ADHD in expression. And one of the questions Carol asked me was, how do I get up every single Sunday and do a talk and not have any notes? And one of the things she has always said to me from the time I started this journey as spiritual leader is that I have a special gift. And she certainly doesn't have this gift, she says, or so she thinks. And that perhaps that gift of my being able to speak like this extemporaneously is special. And perhaps it is special for me, but I know that when I was first called to this work, that I was certain about being called to it. I had absolutely no doubt that this job was for me at the time. And I also knew that even though I loved public speaking, I had never spoken on this kind of a frequency. I had never spoken this often, every single Sunday, theoretically 52 weeks out of the year. So I knew, without a doubt, that because I had been called to this work, that Spirit had something for me to say every single week. That Spirit was going to express through me and give me a message every single Sunday, because I knew I didn't have that many topics to speak about. I had probably 5 or 6 topics I could talk about, and I do have a gift for tuning in to Spirit. Actually, I don't call it a gift, I call it a skill. I just listen, and I make myself available to Spirit, and I expect that Spirit is always going to give me the right message for all of you every single Sunday, without a doubt. Now, that doesn't mean I don't waver sometimes, because often my message comes Sunday morning. I don't know the topic. I sometimes know a sentence or two here or there, and I've talked about this before, but the full thing doesn't come until I'm in the moment actually speaking to you like I am today. So I don't consider this a special gift. Like I said, it's a skill, and I have learned and taught myself to listen, to discern when the messages are there, to know what to say when I pause while I'm talking to you and I get quiet for a few seconds because I'm listening to whether or not there's something else that needs to come out, or am I done? Has Spirit finished with the message of today? So I realize that I'm a vessel and that there's just something moving through me, and I love the experience of being in this moment with Spirit just alive within me, all through my head, my heart, my body. That's sometimes why I get choked up while I'm delivering my message, is because I just get alive with this feeling. So this is my version, my unique divine expression. This is my version of greatness. Carol and I also talked about the fact that she and I have known each other for 15 years. We became good friends soon after both of us arrived in Dallas from other parts of the country. She came from Florida. I came from the Washington, D.C. area. And we moved within months of each other here to Dallas. And we met at Unity of Dallas on Forest Lane. And we were in the choir together. We became fast friends. We have been great friends ever since. So she and I have watched our journeys, how we have grown, both of us exponentially since that first time we met 15 years ago. And it has been exponential growth. When I first met Carol, I was terrified of singing in front of an audience. And I wanted to sing in front of an audience. I was called to sing. I had that inspiration. And so I joined the choir. I let our choir director know that I wanted to sing solos, and I started taking voice lessons. And so I've told this story before where he masterfully inspired me, challenged me to sing first in front of the choir and then in front of the full congregation on Sundays. So that was a muscle that I flexed. And then throughout these 15 years, I authored a book. I wrote the book. I found all the people who contributed to that book. I went through some real intense personal transformation through that process because I was afraid of that whole process as well. So this is my destiny. This is my calling, this ministry. And now as I unfold and expand my ministry through Saxe and into the greater world with my call to peace, that is my journey and my thing. Each of us has a thing. Each of us has a calling, a destiny. And according to Kabbalah, an ancient wisdom, each of us is called to an ultimate destiny that is far greater than any of us are aware of. I want to read to you from this book, Becoming Like God, Kabbalah and Our Ultimate Destiny. It is by Michael Berg, B-E-R-G. This is how he starts out the book. He says, this book is a letter addressed to the inmates of a prison. It is a strange prison because within its walls lie mountains and rivers and sunsets. It contains rare birds and rare diseases, mini-dramas, maxi-dramas, melodramas, and the latest DVDs. The prison has no name, but over the years its inmates came up with one and it stuck. They call it life. No one gets out for good behavior, and in this facility, everyone is sentenced to die. That's why this letter is addressed with great passion and urgency. You who read it, however comfortable your surroundings, are inhabitants of this prison, as I am. Our prison's history is littered with legends of escape attempts and rife with advice from escape experts, but prison life has proceeded pretty much unchanged for several thousand years, which is to say that most prisoners aren't aware they are in prison. But now an incredible opportunity has presented itself, a historically ordained opportunity, an opportunity written in the DNA code of our universe. A crack in a prison door has opened and allowed a shaft of sunlight to shine through. Consider this book a report from that sunlight. That sunlight emanates from the creator of our universe. We can follow it to its source. And when we do, we discover our own source. When we do, instead of praying to God, obeying God, fearing God, or rejecting God, we become like God. It's pretty strong. I'm going to read that again. That sunlight emanates from the creator of our universe. We can follow it to its source. And when we do, we discover our own source. When we do, instead of praying to God, obeying God, fearing God, or rejecting God, we become like God. So Unity's beliefs aren't far from that. Berg goes on to say, according to the Bible, quote, man was created in God's image. In God's image, man was created, unquote. Kabbalah teaches that there are no superfluous words in the Bible, so why the repetition? It urges the reader to pay attention. Do not miss this. You are created in God's image. You have the same essence and therefore the same potential as God. You are destined to become like God. So keep asking yourself, am I like God yet? Am I manifesting godly powers? Can I heal the sick and bless people? Have I resurrected the dead? The yardstick suddenly extends to infinity. I don't just measure myself against myself. I measure myself against God. I measure myself against God. So that's why I say my ability to speak extemporaneously every week is not special. If I'm on a journey to become like God, if I am walking towards that light, as Berg says, then I am meeting the Creator as me. I am becoming like God. So this is the question we need to ask ourselves. Where are we on this path to God? Are we recognizing that we have gifts, that we have an ultimate destiny to become like God? And that's audacious for people. We've talked before that some people even consider that statement to be heresy. And there are a lot of people who don't want to think like that. Now, I'm not saying you're going to become God. I'm saying you become like God. That means you are ultimate love. You are ultimate peace. You are ultimate goodness. You are harmony. You are unity in expression. So we are not all that God is, but all that God is, we are. I'll say that again. We are not all that God is, but all that God is, we are. So if we use the ocean as a corollary, as an example, the brain's not working all that well. I'll just tune in again. Go to the light. Go to the light. So if we use the ocean as an example, we are not the entire ocean. God is the ocean. But we are a wave in the ocean because that wave is an expression of the ocean. And if you sit on the beach and you watch different waves come in, they come in differently. Each of us is a different wave in that ocean. There are some who say that we are the drop in the ocean, and then people say, well, we are in expression, so the expression of that drop is the wave. And sometimes we are expressing together as a community, like we are at Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe. So there may be a huge wave, and we are expressing together. We are of like minds. So this can be pretty unsettling for people to start to recognize yourself as becoming like God. To recognize that your life is so much more than the job you do, or the role that you play as wife, husband, son, daughter, grandmother, grandfather, volunteer, business owner, employee, whatever it is that you do, we often identify with that job or something that we do in order to bring in money, or the role that we fill within our families or our spheres of influence. Berg is saying that we are so much more than that. Let me read a little further. This is our potential, whoever we are, whatever our impediments, real or imagined. Moses was physically frail and spoke with a lisp. Greatness is not reserved for the great. The great are simply those who have risen to meet their destiny. Everyone alive has a destiny infinitely richer than they know. The great are simply those who have risen to meet their destiny. Everyone alive, every one of you, me included, has a destiny infinitely richer than we know. So I have a destiny that's richer than I knew 15 years ago. I have a destiny richer than I knew 10 years ago. I have a destiny richer than I knew 6 months ago, 6 days ago, and probably if we count what happened with the power going off this morning, my destiny is richer than I knew at 7:30 this morning when I opened my eyes. And I got the message that there was no power, and suddenly I had to figure out, what are we going to do on the fly? What if the power comes back on? What if the power does not come on by 11 o'clock or by 10 o'clock and we have meditation? So all of a sudden, for a few minutes, I was kind of in anxiety mode. First of all, I didn't want to deal with it, so I pulled the covers back over my head and I rolled over for a second. And I had my pity party, like we talked about 2 weeks ago. I had my pity party for about 30 seconds. And then I said to myself, I know what to do with this because I've been given everything I need in order to handle every situation that comes down the pike. So I got up, I started walking around. My husband, who's the AV guy, was already setting up in the living room, and he's talking to me about things, and I said, nope, I need to listen. I need to hear what Spirit is saying to me about my next steps. So he went about doing the things that he was called to do in order to make this happen, to make this broadcast happen from our home. And I was in my office sitting at my desk listening. And I sat and I took some breaths. And I knew with a certainty that the answers would come and I would know what to do. So I immediately got on Encore's website to figure out just how large that power outage was, and when they were estimating that our power would be back on, and it said 12 noon. So that might have been an opportunity to freak out, and instead I decided that it gives me some time to figure out what to do here. So then I started to put things in motion. I knew that I had a database of names and phone numbers and email addresses. And I figured out that I can just call my board, my fantastic board, to call them in to help me with whatever it is we needed to do to get this done. And we figured it out, and we got it all done, and here we are broadcasting now. So I didn't have to worry about what to do because the message is always coming through. So now we know how to do this on the fly. I didn't know how to do that several hours ago. So that was my destiny today. I would theorize that my destiny, my ultimate destiny, is far richer a year from now than it is now. And we need to just be open to whatever the possibilities are. Let's see what else Berg is telling us. He says that dullness and boredom come from unmet or abandoned potential. I've abandoned my potential a time or two. It's television ratings soaring. It's playing computer games when you were meant to compose sonatas. If you're not doing what you were meant to do, and each person was meant for something astonishing, you'll never enjoy contentment. Imagine Dr. Jonas Salk becoming a successful businessman, a generous citizen, and a wonderful father, but never going near a lab. What may have seemed a good life would in fact have been tragic, the pain and suffering he was meant to remove from the world never having been achieved. He says again, each person was meant for something astonishing. Not something usual, not something small, something astonishing. And if you're going to become like God, then that is astonishing, or it seems astonishing to us, but it is actually our nature. It is what we are, and that's what Berg is saying here, that this is usual for us. It's not special. It's not special at all. So my gift, my skill at being able to speak to you every single Sunday extemporaneously is not special. It is who I am. It is my destiny. This is my level. This is my thing, my stuff. This is my astonishing expression in the world. And each of you have your own astonishing expression. That's what you need to know. And Berg is saying that we are in a prison of our own and will never find contentment. That's very, very strong statement. If we are not walking towards our ultimate astonishing destiny. This is what else he says. According to Kabbalah, in order for the light of the Creator to be revealed, there must be a vessel to receive it. The name of that vessel is certainty, and the level of light revealed depends on the strength of that certainty. The Zohar states that there is never a time when there is no light. It is only the vessel that limits the amount of light manifested. When we achieve total certainty, we become like God. I imagine that each one of you has had a moment of utter certainty in your life about something you needed to do, something you felt you were inspired to do or called to do, and in that moment you were becoming like God. And that you were in the light. You were recognizing the light that is the Creator and the light that is you. I recognize in this moment when I speak to you, and I can feel it all over me, that I am in the light, and that the light is me, and the light is God. And that is my gift. This is my destiny. And each of you only needs to see that same light. And I believe that we are actually those vessels of certainty. That Spirit expresses through us out into the world with a certainty and in an astonishing manner, in an astonishing way, in a fantastic way. Some of us had the privilege of being at our center last night when Robin Hackett performed for us at our first, second Saturday community coffee house. And she had a guitarist with her, Aaron Flores, and they were astonishing. They were astonishing. Now, many of us, and you just heard a recording of Robin a few moments ago, many of us experience her on Sundays and know some of that astonishing expression that she is. Last night, it was exponentially more astonishing. I mean, it was amazing. Her voice, her artistry on the guitar, with Aaron playing with her, was unlike anything we had experienced on a Sunday morning. And we love when she is with us on Sunday morning. That is her ultimate destiny. This being able to give that kind of artistry in the world and express that the way only she can express it. To express it as only Aaron can express it through his guitar. Through her voice. That is her magnificence. And whether you can sing or not, you have a gift. You have something that you are called to do, something that you were born to do that you may not have known at the moment of birth. And maybe you don't know it now, no matter how old you are. But Berg is saying that you have something astonishing to express in the world. And he's saying that if you're not feeling contented, if you're not feeling this freedom and joy and this ultimate freedom in life, then perhaps you have either turned from the light, that is you. Perhaps you have not embraced what you have been called to, and he's saying that you won't have contentment and that you won't have ultimate joy if you don't step towards the light. That if you don't express your ultimate destiny. Strong, strong, powerful words from Berg. But I like the fact that he's calling us out. I like the fact that he's challenging us to see and to know and to express what we truly are. I like that he is saying it in words that are very clear, that are very easy to understand. I like that he is not playing around, because I think this life is about not playing around. I think this life is not about going halfway. I think this life is not about hiding your light under a bushel. I think this life is about doing the things that scare you to death, because they will bring you to life. I think this life is about us loving in a way that we have never loved, loving the people who are hard to love. It's nothing special to love the people who are easy to love. My husband and I often laugh because we both had fathers who taught us that showing up to work on time or anywhere on time is not special. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're expected to do. And in fact, if you're showing up on time, you are late. You're late. You're late. My father said that to me often. He knew where I was going to work, and if I just had enough time to slide through the door at 8 o'clock or whatever time I was supposed to be there, he would say, "You're already late, because you should be at your desk preparing to work at 8 o'clock. Your hand should be on the keyboard, your pen should be in your hand, or you should be in your meeting, not walking through the door." And so, doing the easy things in life are not special. That's what Berg is saying, and that we have something astonishing to do on this planet while we're here. And even though these things scare us, because Lord knows I know that, and Carol and I laughed about that too during that podcast interview, that there are times when we were just terrified to do the things that we were called to do. But we did them anyway, and after we did them, and in the process of doing them, that joy and that contentment, that exhilaration that you feel had already started. The gift of sharing our gifts was already returning to us. And that this gift that she and I can now share, watching each other perform in the world like we never performed before, far greater and exponentially better than we had ever dreamed or talked about, is just an absolute thrill. Just an absolute thrill. So Berg's calling us out. What are we going to do? If you're uncomfortable right now, good. Good. You should be. And if you're not uncomfortable, it means that you've already shut down. You've already decided that even though the light is shining in you and through you, calling you to something, you've decided to do this. It's okay, we love you anyway. You are love anyway. You are still, you still have all the attributes that are God within you. You're just choosing not to use them. And that's okay too. But there's probably something in the world that needs to happen because of you. And if you don't do it, then there are some philosophies that say that there's going to be a void in the world. Again, what if Jonas Salk had not shown up in that lab and done the work that he was called to do? There would be more disease and suffering in this world because of his decision. So yeah, I hope you're uncomfortable. And I hope you're thinking about the things that you're called to do right now. And thinking about how you're going to step forward into them. Step forward further into that light every single moment. Step further and further and further, one step at a time, every single day. And feeling the brilliance of that light on you, through you, as you watch it reflected in other people's eyes, and having that joy and contentment that Berg is talking about. I want that for you. I think you want it for yourself. We just have to step forward sometimes with the fear, with the anxiety, with the misgivings, with the doubt, but keep stepping forward until we get to certainty. Berg said the certainty is important, that the light happens in the moment of certainty. I think the crack is in the door and the light starts to shine when you say yes. So you can say yes in this moment. And you can continue to say yes in every single moment from this moment on. And you can shine your light and be that astonishing, magnificent creation that you were brought here to be. That you were brought here to be. That you were brought here to be. So you might want to check out Berg's book, Becoming Like God, Kabbalah and Our Ultimate Destiny. Becoming Like God. Let's take this into meditation. Let's take a deep breath. Whatever anxiety you may be feeling in this moment, if you are feeling uncomfortable as a result of this message, just breathe into it. Let yourself be uncomfortable. It's okay. I feel uncomfortable too. Continue to breathe. And in this state of being uncomfortable, open your heart, even if just a little bit. Open your mind, even if just a little bit right now. And say yes to whatever it is you know that you are being called to, because I know that you're being called to something greater in some area of your life. That's why you're still breathing. Your work's not done. Be open to whatever that is. Let that idea just float within you. Let it be there. Tune back in to that feeling of peace we felt as we opened the service. As we were feeling our oneness with each other. As we were starting to sing our centering song and feeling that feeling of peace. That feeling of oneness. Let that burn out any uncertainty you feel right now. Let it obliterate any feeling of being uncomfortable with what's before you. And now as you continue to have that idea in your mind, picture the ocean, knowing that that ocean represents God. And see the waves, knowing that you are, that your community is also a wave in that ocean. We are expressing all the goodness of God every single moment. And as that wave moves and gains momentum, as it ebbs and flows, as that wave grows and curls into itself, just enjoy the beauty of the wave, the beauty of the ocean, the vastness of the ocean. You are that same vastness. And we have the opportunity, the power to harness all of that strength, all of that imagination, all of those ideas, all of that goodness, all of that peace and harmony and unity. We are the strength of that ocean in a wave. And the ocean is at the back of us all the time. There is no separation between the wave and the ocean, and there is no separation between us and Source, the Creator, the light. We are individual beings of light. From the one light. We shine together in this creation. Feel now, look now again at that idea that you are being called to, invited in, knowing that the power of the ocean can obliterate all doubt and fear. And you can shine light on it. And in each moment, step into that calling with power and strength, in love, generosity, peacefully, gracefully, masterfully. There is nothing to fear. For we are made in the image of God. In the image of God we are made. Astonishing, magnificent creations. Breathe into that power and that strength and that light right now, right here, knowing that you are capable of handling everything that comes down the road. Let's just be here for a moment together in power and faith and in strength and love. Let's breathe in together, take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, exhale, just relax into your greatness. Greatness that is ordained by God, that greatness that is God. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. So in this moment, as we are feeling our power and our strength, feeling the light expressing as us and through us, we now speak the names of those that we want to pray for. Say them out loud at home. And our prayers shall lift together. For Reba and for Eddie. For the Flores family and that little one that is coming in January. For all those who are without power. For those who are involved and the loved ones of those who are in the collapse of that building in Florida. First responders, the rescue teams, the recovery teams who are at work still. For Melissa, for Cheryl. For Katie and for Kate. For Vicky. For the family of Lola. For Joan and for Debbie and family. For Cindy, for Jan, and for all those who are not aware of the light that they are. For all of us who have moments of doubt and fear and uncertainty about our callings. May our hearts and minds be open to that light. May we be more and more willing to embrace that light and step fully into our ultimate destiny to become like God. For the world is calling out to us, and we are the answer to every prayer that's being prayed. And so it is, and so it shall be. So we know that source, that the Creator is the source of all things, even the resources that help us to live the lives that we have. And we live in an abundant universe. Let us now recite together our celebration of giving. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive, and so it is.
Please do not forget gratitude. Today I saw the sun. I stood out in the rain and watched the eagle fly again. I heard a baby cry and walked right through the storm and felt the wind upon my face. And all the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, oh Lord. Yes, I am, and I'm hopeful. beneath my feet and saw a shooting star above. I looked into your eyes and touched an open heart and fell into a whole lot of love. And all the while I could not help but see, oh, the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, oh Lord, yes I am, and I'm hopeful, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh I am, yes I'm thankful, oh I am, yes I am, so grateful, so thankful, yes I am, yes I am, oh, I'm thankful, so thankful, I'm thankful, so thankful, I'm thankful, so thankful, so thankful, so grateful.
Let's bless our offering. We are deeply grateful for the time, treasure, and talent that overflows into this community, enabling us to do our perfect work here in the world, to fulfill our ultimate destiny as a community. We know that this blessing shows up as time given, as songs sung, as volunteers, landscape teams, people who help out with facilities, those who are bored working hard every single day in order to do the work that we are called to do to govern this community. There's so much that's blessing our community. We are so grateful for everything that allows us to do that. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. So this afternoon, we were going to have our 32nd anniversary celebration. We're going to have our first potluck after the pandemic, but because we have no power, we are not at the center. We are rescheduling that to next Sunday, which is the 18th, and we will have our potluck together, hopefully. We'll see what happens. And celebrate the 32 years of this wonderful community being in existence. It started in 1989. And we have a rich history, and we are a continuing blessing in the world, and we are building a legacy for many, many, many years and decades to come. So we hope you will be with us next Sunday, come for service, and then immediately after we will have our potluck. And now it's time for our mission and vision.
Please join me. We are a Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe. We are a thriving global community of spiritual seekers transforming lives through love and the expression of our innately divine gifts. Our mission is to inspire spiritual and personal growth
through the teaching and demonstration of unity principles toward the realization of living our best lives. Divine wisdom is at work in every area of our lives right now, Everything is always working out for us. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We thank you very much for putting up with this, having to rework our scheduling and where we were broadcasting from and not being able to meet in person. Thank you so much for your patience. We hope that you were able to hear everything well. If not, we will have the recording up in about a half an hour so that you can watch that again if there's anything you could not hear. But of course, your energy and your presence is what makes this experience together every single Sunday so very special. Remember that you are astonishing and fantastic, and your ultimate destiny is to become like God. Have a glorious day, a glorious week. Namaste.